Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're all taking care of yourselves today, because what we're about to unpack has sent tremors through the Turkish entertainment scene and across every corner of the fandoms that follow our favorite stars. This isn't a light topic, and it's not the kind of thing anyone wants to hear about their idols, but it is what everyone is talking about. The whirlwind currently dominating timelines and headlines centers on two names that need no introduction: Ozan Baba and Sinem. As you saw in the title, the controversy raging right now is about the alleged leak of intimate photos of this beloved couple, and the uproar has been immediate, intense, and deeply emotional. Before we get into the details, I want to thank you for being here with Turkish series stars. Your support truly matters. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a story. When you show up for us, it helps us keep showing up for you with context, care, and the latest developments in the world of Turkish television and celebrity culture. We know you want accuracy and empathy, and that's exactly how we intend to handle this conversation. So, what's happened? Over the last several hours, social media has erupted with claims that private material belonging to Ozan Baba and Sinem has been leaked and circulated. Clips and stills, allegedly taken from personal devices, began popping up on obscure accounts and then snowballed into a wave that reached mainstream feeds. No matter how often we see this pattern in the digital age, the shock lands differently when it involves two people who have earned so much affection and respect from millions. For anyone who may not know their journey, Ozan Baba is known for his magnetic intensity and the nuanced humanity he brings to every role. Sinem, with her luminous screen presence and measured strength, has become a symbol of grace under pressure. As individuals, they are admired; as a couple, they've been adored. Their connection became a public fascination after a string of joint appearances, collaborative campaigns, and candid, warm interviews that showcased an easy rapport. Whether they were sharing a panel, supporting a charity, or simply laughing between takes during a promo shoot, that spark was unmistakable. And fans embraced them as one of the most compelling pairs in Turkish showbiz. Yet public love often exists side by side with invasive scrutiny. According to posts circulating on multiple platforms, the content in question is deeply personal and never intended for public consumption. Almost as soon as the first whispers surfaced, fandom communities mobilized. It was a flood of disbelief, outrage, and protective loyalty. People have rallied behind Ozan and Sinem, condemning the spread of any private material, demanding takedowns, and calling for accountability. In a matter of moments, their names trended worldwide, and the discourse turned into a broader plea for basic decency. We have to underline this: as of this recording, there is no official confirmation from Ozan Baba, Sinem, or their representatives regarding the authenticity of any alleged leaks. Still, the sheer scale of the chatter and the seriousness with which reputable outlets are handling the story suggests that, at the very least, the situation is being treated as credible enough to warrant caution and care. It also demonstrates how quickly narratives solidify online, whether or not the facts have been fully established. This is the digital reality we live in. Content travels at lightning speed, verification often lags far behind, and once something becomes click-worthy, it can be almost impossible to put the brakes on. Across comment sections and forums, we've seen messages of unwavering support for the couple, gentle reminders to refrain from sharing anything private, and heartfelt notes urging others to remember that behind the headlines are two human beings with families, careers, and feelings. We've also seen those difficult debates resurface. The ones about ethics, about curiosity versus harm, and about our responsibilities as consumers of celebrity culture. Many voices are drawing a hard line: even if you're curious, don't click. Don't repost. Don't amplify. Don't let the momentary impulse to be in the know turn into a lasting wound for people who never consented to this exposure. That sentiment is gaining ground, and it's powerful, because it reframes the conversation from gossip to empathy, from spectacle to respect. This isn't about policing fandom, it's about acknowledging that the personal boundaries of public figures are still boundaries. The entertainment world has always been vulnerable to breaches like this. Our phones are lifelines, but they're also vulnerabilities, tiny cameras and archives where memory and intimacy live side by side with risk. In this climate, data protection and digital privacy aren't just buzzwords, they're essential shields that fail too often. Incidents like these remind us that anyone, from an ordinary user to a star with millions of followers, can be targeted. And when it's a couple as visible as Ozan and Sinem, the fallout multiplies in a flash. A lot of you are asking the right questions. What's our role here? What can we do besides watch it unfold? The answers are simple, even if they're not easy. Refuse to engage with illegal content. Report accounts that traffic in it. Encourage friends and communities to do better. Support platforms and policies that prioritize user safety. And never lose sight of the people at the center of the storm. We can't control everything, but we can control what we amplify. It's also worth noting the psychological toll these events can have. Imagine waking up to find your private life being dissected by strangers, your most intimate moments turned into public currency. Anxiety. Shame that doesn't belong to you. Anger without a safe outlet. According to industry chatter, teams close to the couple are already exploring legal options and requesting the removal of content where possible. Whether or not we see a public statement soon, it's reasonable to assume that their priority will be protecting their well-being and regaining a sense of control. And that leads to another truth: media pressure can be relentless. When people are in love and in the spotlight, every glance, every caption, every choice becomes analysis fodder. The image of a celebrity is fragile not because it's fake, but because it's constantly being reframed by strangers. Ozan and Sinem have often been admired for their authenticity, kind eyes meeting in interviews, the respectful way they speak about their work, their careful balance between privacy and openness. To see that privacy cracked, even allegedly, hits a nerve with fans who've come to trust them as both artists and people. The repercussions can spread in unexpected ways. On one hand, this moment could spark a meaningful public debate about how we create and enforce laws that protect the privacy of public figures. On the other, it could invite even harsher scrutiny from those who thrive on scandal, which is neither fair nor healthy. The best-case scenario is that they're given time and space to decide how to address the situation on their own terms, backed by the strength of a community that understands patience. Another reminder we have to insist on. The internet does not equate to truth. Screenshots can be fabricated. Timelines can be manipulated. The rush to be first often outruns the responsibility to be accurate. So yes, while outrage over a potential violation of privacy is understandable and justified, we should also hold room for the possibility that not everything is what it seems. The most responsible stance right now is to wait for a clear, official word from those directly involved. Unfortunately, this isn't the first time a famous couple has dealt with the weaponization of personal data, and it likely won't be the last. We've seen similar sagas unfold around the world, with varying outcomes. Each one underscores the same lesson: protecting identity and privacy in a networked era is a collective effort that requires smarter platforms, stronger enforcement, and a public that values empathy over voyeurism. Even if the story fades in a few days, the impact can linger much longer for the people at the center of it. In short, this is a heartbreaking situation that none of us wanted to cover, and none of us wanted to witness. Ozan Baba and Sinem Unsal have been thrust into a harsh spotlight because of an alleged leak of private material, and the reaction has been both fierce and compassionate. Fans have rallied. Lines have been drawn. The conversation about digital boundaries has been reignited in a way that feels urgent, overdue, and necessary. To everyone watching on Turkish series Stars, thank you for trusting us to navigate a difficult subject with respect. We hope this gives you a clearer picture of what's known, what's being questioned, and what's at stake. Now we want to hear from you. How should we talk about privacy when it comes to public figures? Do you believe that being famous reduces a person's right to protect what is personal? And how can fan communities lead by example when a crisis like this breaks? Leave your thoughts in the comments, but please, let's keep the conversation considerate and grounded. Remember that real people are behind the headlines. If you found this video valuable, share it with someone who needs the reminder to choose compassion over curiosity. Give it a like so it reaches more viewers who might otherwise get swept up in the noise. And if you haven't yet, subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll be the first to know when we have updates. We'll be watching developments closely and will bring you verified information as soon as it becomes available. Until then, be kind, be cautious, and take care of one another. We'll see you in the next video.